Hey everyone, it is time for another van vlog, Vanera Day. As you can see, I am not in my van right now. Explain that in a little bit, but this is where I get a random topic, I read it for the first time, take about 5 or 10 minutes to think about it, and then I give my answer. Today's topic is, what food would I like to cook most? I'll be right back. Alright, I don't remember where I was, but I didn't get much sleep last night, but that's besides the point. The van's AC is out, and I'm thinking about changing these things anyways. Instead of competing van vlogs, it's very hard to compete on the algorithm with van vlogs. People expect to see like girls living in vans and stuff like that, and I'm just not going to bring as much appeal with my van vlogs. So I'm thinking about changing to something like Chad's Car Chats. I'm still working on it. Regardless, I did make a video a couple of weeks back, and you saw how hot it was getting in that van. But I thought about the answer, and I don't really know. I'm gonna make a bunch of mistakes. You're gonna see me make those mistakes and struggle through this answer, and you know I don't edit those out. That's part of this. So let me go ahead, and I'm gonna get my timer started here, and we'll go here. So I was thinking about it. I once had a friend of mine who is like a chef, and he explained to me the difference between being a chef and cooking. You know, cooking is the ability to follow instructions, is what he says. Chefs are the ones who come up with the meal. So I don't know if people like ever make that distinction or not. But so no, I'm not looking. I don't know. So it would have to be something easy. I thought about, okay, I would just make smoothies, but technically speaking, I think you've got to use heat. And I think you gotta, so to cook, you gotta boil it or use the oven or something like that. So I don't think I could just make smoothies. Now it just takes me, I just started to think about it, and it wasn't that long ago. See, cooking is very important in the history of mankind. I'm not trying to give anybody a history lesson here because I have no clue what I'm talking about. But, you know, cooking cooks out a lot of, you know, things, potentially poisonous things. I just turned the car back on. But potentially poisonous things and so on and so forth. And the ideal of a smoothie wasn't, I mean, before blenders, it would be pretty hard to make a smoothie. And but even before that, it wasn't that long ago where the idea of having an abundance of fruits and vegetables to make something like a smoothie with was unheard of. It wasn't like, you know, people would just walk, I don't know why I'm looking around, but it wasn't like people just walked around with, you know, fruits and vegetables and so on and so forth, and even a lot of popular. So I think we're pretty lucky today to have the variety of food that we have. I don't know where this is going. I'm just going to be honest with you right now. So we're very lucky to have the variety of food that we have right now. And you would be considered somewhat, only wealthy people really got a large variety of food. That's why I think, you know, back in the day, there's lots of scurvy on ships and stuff like that. Of course, they find out, you know, vitamin C and the whole oranges and so on and so forth. But I'm trying to think of what type of food. I used to like to cook like Asian food back when I was in college. I had a friend, a Korean friend, and he used to teach me how to cook a little bit here and there. But you know, it's like I don't want to say that, because if I say I like cooking Asian food, then you think, oh, he can cook Asian food. But it's like, you compare me to any okay chef, or I shouldn't say chef, any okay cook who can cook Asian food, then I'm just kind of awful at it. And I'm just so afraid to say, hey, I like to cook this, or I like to cook steak. And they're like, well, you should be able to make a good steak then. You like to cook steak. Not really. I'm probably not that good at cooking steak. I like to make Italian food. You could be a bit of good Italian food. That's not really an Italian accent, but someone's gonna say that, like, you could cook a good Italian food, make a good pizza. And I'm like, no. And I thought I offended somebody there. I'm not that good at it. I'm really not good at like the finesse of cooking. I can make palatable food and put it on a plate, and it probably won't kill you. okay? And that's probably about as best as you're gonna get, is if you eat my food that I cook, it won't kill you. And that, I think that's a start, okay? Italian food, Asian food seems to be somewhat complicated, especially if you start going from scratch and adding in all your spices and herbs and whatnot to, instead of having it pre-made. But I think that would apply to anything, right? I think just the good old-fashioned American, you know, cheeseburger is something that's fun and easy to cook. I'd have to go with that. At this point, I'm just so slammed right now with everything, work and the baby, and well, she didn't wake me up 5 times last night. Her monitor went off 5 times last night. We got to figure out what's going on with it. But when that thing goes off, it's like, woo, woo, woo. And it's like, oh my goodness, my baby stopped breathing. But no, she didn't stop breathing. But she was like in her crib doing like this yoga. Like she did like this upward dog position. I can't do it. It's like upward dog. And just wondering what's going on. I know, me too. I'm like, hey girl, I'm wondering what's going on too. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. And you got to go back to bed. And it's very hard to convince her to go back to bed. So as you can see, I'm just over my head right now with everything. And I would have to say what's ever easiest to cook is what I'm in favor of cooking right now. That's my favorite food right now, well, to cook. I don't think that's my favorite food. If I'm paying you to cook it, which I don't know if I would want to pay you to cook it, but if I'm paying somebody who knows how to cook it, probably my favorite food to eat. That's a whole other question. I think Italian restaurants are cool. I always have fun at Italian or Chinese, or Asian, I should say. Those I kind of like the flavor profiles in that. Get some spicy Thai food too. Anyways, my buzzer is going off. I know I kind of went all over the place, but I'm hoping that you see these mistakes and you know it's okay. You don't have to be perfect to put yourself out there and try. I just want to say just thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment down below. What type of food do you like to cook? What type of food do you like to eat? Are there any topics you want me to cover? Any questions you want me to cover? Keep them lighthearted. Nothing serious. I don't want to talk about the president or anything like that. But feel free to leave comments down below. It really means a lot to me. Subscribing really means a lot to me. Even if you don't subscribe to this channel, if you do have a channel you like, please go out there. Please subscribe to that channel. It really helps them out a whole lot. As I mentioned before, the reason I'm probably going to change everything up because of the algorithm. It's a very difficult game to play, and that's neither here nor there. But I hope that every one of you out there has the most awesome day. Thank you again.